All right, what's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack. You already know I'm about to do a taping of another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show with my special guest Teisha Marie, uh, representing the Over 30 podcast. Obviously, I'm not over 30 anymore, so I can't be a part of that podcast. I got to be on the Over the Hill podcast. So, so we're about to get this thing started. We're about to get, especially if you guys are checking this out on Facebook Live right now, or if you're watching the video on YouTube right now. You already know Dre Mac Show is going to get live here with you guys via StreamYard, but also the audio podcast is about to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start the audio podcast. We're going to give you guys, get you guys a minute to get your popcorn ready because we're going to start talking about men. Why some black men don't like black women to the point where it's disrespectful. So we're going to get into that, and we'll be right with you with more of the Dre Mack Show. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show. About to go ahead and get the audio version started. Just want to give y'all some time to kind of get y'all self together, and I'm gonna show y'all today what we're talking about. Why some black men don't like sisters. So we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this real quick. About to get the audio podcast started. So I'll be right back with you with more of the Dre Mack Show. You just reached the hottest podcast in your ear right now. This is the Dre Mack Show. Now, without further ado, here is your host, Dre Mack. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show, live from Speaker Radio, of course, live from StreamYard on Facebook Live right now and on YouTube. With my special guest, Teisha Marie, is in the house. Say what's up to everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm Teisha Marie. If you
can, I think you're muted.
Muted? Oh, sure. Sorry, people.
Did we mute you? Hold on. For some reason, now I can't hear your audio. Can anybody else here listen or hear her? For some strange reason, now I think you're frozen in time. So I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to remove her real quick from the stream. I'm about to bring her. Let's go ahead. Let's try to bring her back to the stream for some reason. And then if you guys are listening to me on the audio version, I got to get Teisha here back on. For some reason, she's.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, wow. I don't know what happened. I had to go back out and come back in. Start it all over from scratch.
Hey, you already know Teisha is a friend of the show. She is now one of the hosts of the Over the 30 podcast show. So make sure you guys, if this is your first time listening to the Dre Mac Show via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, if you listen to it on Speaker Radio, anywhere that you listen to it on your podcast app, make sure you guys are checking over the Over the 30 podcast. It got really good topics and everything. Check out their Facebook page, the Over the 30 podcast. They got a Facebook link, so make sure you guys are checking them out and seeing what they're talking about. And also, Teisha is also a author when she came out with her first children's book just recently. So make sure you guys are checking. When I tell you Black excellence is real, we're out here doing the thing. Even though we're talking about a controversial topic, we're out here doing a thing. So make sure you guys are checking out Teisha's book, and she can talk more about that. It's on Amazon. It's an excellent book, especially if you're dealing with any child with any type of like ADHD, or you're dealing with a child on the spectrum. It's an excellent book to read. So make sure you guys are checking her out, and make sure in the comment section on the Facebook page and on the YouTube page that you're looking for information. Asking for information that we can provide that for you. And shout out to another new author, my man Jericho Young just came out with a new book called The Law of Subtraction. So make sure you guys are checking that out on Amazon. The Law of Subtraction. Just got me a few books in with The Law of Subtraction. I just got that White Fragility book in, and I'm talking a lot. What's up, Teisha?
What's up, man? You're good. I'm just chilling.
And Crystal,
on this beautiful Monday.
Right. And Crystal asks, what's the name of her book? Because she wants to know what the name of your book is.
The name of my book is Explosive Impulsive Alley. I'm sorry, Explosive Alley. Well, yeah, I said it right. My bad. Sorry. I got a lot of reading going on right now, but yes, it's on Amazon. Explosive Impulsive Alley. It's about a little girl with ADHD and ODD, and it speaks about from a parent's perspective of dealing with a child with a disability, and from a child's perspective of how a child feels, and it translates both feelings and from both perspectives. And it's a really good book. It speaks a lot about it. I also have a business. Infinite Stars Youth Special Education Program. I'm an educator for children with special needs, like ODD and ADHD and autism spectrum. And also Infinite Stars and Holistic Healing. That's my holistic healing. I sell yoni detoxes and chakra detoxifications. I'm a spiritual life coach, all that. Check me out.
Black excellence is what she wanted to say. Black excellence. Excelente. For my Afro Latino people, excelente. Nah. I'm just joking. Even I can say I can joke like that because I researched my information. My ancestors came from Spain and Portugal. Now what?
Oh wow! I remember you took an.
Oh yeah. I took my when I did my DNA.
I can see a little hints of it in you. Like I can. Your undertone and like your hair and everything. It is.
What's so crazy about it is that when I first found out about it, we're going to get to the subject. I know you guys are like, oh man, great subject. But we're going to get to the subject.
We're catching up.
Yeah, we're catching up. But I'm gonna tell you, when I went to go do my DNA test, at first I was confused because they show you a haplogroup, and a lot of people, if you really want to know where your ancestors came from, find out where your haplogroup is. Because my haplogroup came from Western Europe, and I'm like, Western Europe. So I called the people at FamilyTree.com. Was like, hey man, what y'all talking about? So I went and then I got the other portion of my DNA where it said I was 94% West African. So I was like, yay! But then what I found out was the haplogroup that I came from was from Spain and Portugal. And if anyone knows about the Inquisition, my people were taken away from Spain and Portugal. They was kicked out, and they was sent to the west and north and west coast of Africa, all the way to Sao Tome and Guinea. So a lot of the people that have the same haplogroup in Africa as me actually come from Equatorial Guinea, and they're the only people in Africa that speak Spanish. So when I tell you to
Wow.
go do your research, you have to just don't take that stuff for face value. Go really research it. Then I found out about the instant question, and then it's a long story. We ain't gonna get into all of that, but I'm just
You
telling
know
you.
what I wish they can do? I wish they can actually tell you which side that it came from. Like which side of your which parent
Oh,
did.
well, this was for mine. It was my paternal. So it's for
Oh, really?
my father's side. This is
That
my
is
father's
cool
side.
because Ancestry didn't do that for me, and I was wanting that to see which side was,
Yeah, I
because I
still got
was
to family.
Congo, Africa, or something weird like that,
Right. And
and I
see,
didn't know.
the parental side is different for women because the parental side it can only go off of your mother. It can't go
Mm-hmm.
off your father unless your father had a DNA test prior
Yes.
to it, then you match the two together. So that's kind of how that part works. But
Oh,
a man
gotcha.
can get his maternal and paternal test done. So I got to get my maternal done so my sisters don't have to worry about paying for it. So that's what they
Cool.
told me. But
That's
anyway,
cool.
let's get to this. Okay,
Let's get it.
so Tisha put a video up of these young black men and how they felt about black women dating black women. And before we say anything, before we go into this, I'm going to play the audio clip, and I'm going to tell you the audio clip is quite disturbing, and please excuse the language, but let me just play the clip for you, and then we're going to go from there. We're going to really talk about this. And I named this black man losing their mind, but don't pay me no attention. Yeah. Okay, what kind of black girls? Either my complexion or lighter. I'm darker than you, so you want to talk to me? No. Okay. Well, excuse the fuck out of me. Wow. Black dark skins are mean. What? Yeah. I mean? Yeah. You even know me. I understand. White girls did shit. White girls did that judgy. She was like, yo, y'all judging me and y'all mean. That's double negative, yo. All right, so I like Asian girls, really? Yes. Why? Because you gotta show the dark chocolate some love sometimes. You like dark chocolate? He likes all the flavors of ice cream. I got all types, yeah. You know how it goes. Okay. Which do y'all prefer, black or white females? White. Light. I just like white females. You like white? Let's get them. I like white girls got that super. Who you say more freaky? White girls. White girls? Okay. Black or white females? White females. Why? Good. Black or white females? Black. All right, why though? Cause like number one, like they got big ass booties. I don't give a fuck. And like you just like bond more with them because you stay racist, right? Black or white females? White girls. Black girls, white say that. I said white girls. When you say white girls, white say that. You know they let you do it. Yeah, they let you do it. For sure. So you with a black girl right now, or you with a white girl? I'm with a black girl. With a black girl, all right. For a black or white female? That's tough. A white female. I'm sorry, bro. Why you say white? I just like them, bro. That's just I like black girls. They like to give a nigga attitudes and shit. Do y'all prefer black or white females? White. God damn, you're not gonna let me finish my motherfucking sentence. White girls got that super. Why you say white? I feel like they just do it better. They do it better? White girls got it. The white hoes, right? Man, the white girls on top, but the white girls, they hotter. Yeah. Who you think got more of an attitude though? Black. Why you say white? Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop the audio right there because honestly, I can't take no more of that. I can't, and it goes on. This is 6 minutes of audio. I mean, 8 minutes of audio of these young black dudes totally disrespected black women. I don't care what you say. In this funny, the only dude who said he liked dark skinned women was the white dude at the beginning of the video. So,
Isn't it ironic?
Okay, Tisha, you I know how I feel, but I want to give you your opportunity to tell me how you feel on this, because I got my own thoughts, but I want you to go.
After hearing that audio again, it just triggered a lot of things. When I heard it, I was livid. I was mortified. I could not believe that our young men, because they're actually very young guys that are saying it, this is the trajectory we're on. This is the avenue and the place where we're going for our future. Our history has already been dismantled and dissipated. Our culture has been appropriated and taking so much from Black women. So much has been taken from Black women. I mean, from us being used as test dummies and lab rats, from us being appropriated by white women, by stealing our curves, our lips, and even our attitudes. A white woman can mimic and be the complete replica of our attitude, and it's looked upon as something from white privilege, or they have something different to offer, and it's so identical to a Black woman, but we are frowned upon, and this is from the very mouths of the people that we have birthed. So I am, as a Black woman, mortified. I'm It's scary to think that this is where we're headed. That's our youth, and people have to understand. I've heard people say, "Oh, they're just young." That speaks volumes, because that is the direction we are headed to.
Mm-hmm.
Our youth is our future. Our youth is
Right.
carrying our culture, our heritage. They're carrying our identity. We have to teach them so we can keep proceeding. We can keep elevating. And it's scary. It is scary.
And first thing I had to do was get out my feelings about it and look at it objectively.
Teach
And I
me.
know that that's hard for me, because I'm a person that looks at I sometimes look at certain things objectively, but certain things trigger that emotion. So I had to stop for a second so I didn't trigger any emotions on it. Because I mean, obviously, y'all see my face when I was playing the clip. And there's more of it. I just can't do it. Objectively, if I'm looking at this thing from the outside looking in, one thing that I do is I can blame propaganda. I can say, well, this is exactly how we look at each other. As far as colorism, I've done podcasts about colorism. That comes from our culture. We always, when I was growing up, we'd talk about dark skinned people. Our own people with darker skin, we'll talk about them like dogs. Or you're an African booty scratcher. You know what I'm saying? You so black, you make the oil light, whatever. Just disrespectful stuff that we say to each other. Uh, and these young people are picking up because they have parents who you've seen how the way that they act towards other black people. The second thing I had to look at was the propaganda that is placed in front of us when we start looking at TV and of course, and I used the example before we went on the air. The movie House Party was a prime example of propaganda towards towards black people. When you look at light skin, dark skin, I'm not even talking about the how they're boosting up another culture over their own people, but
Mhm.
the light skin, dark skin thing also. You looked at Tisha Campbell's character. She was light skinned. She was a good girl, and she was going after the light skinned dude. You know what I mean? Which one was a kid? And then you had the dark skinned girl going after playing. He the player type, and he all suave, and he all smooth. The light skinned dude was the smart one. You know what I'm saying? More intelligent, more rational. The dark skinned people was all more riskier and stuff like that. Or he want to have sex, or she want to have sex. It's the propaganda that has fueled this debate. But again, it comes from our own culture, so I can't really be mad at the younger people. I got to be mad at who's teaching them this. How did you learn this? And from our own
Absolutely.
perspective, we're teaching our children this. I mean, people was all up in arms about, the WAP song and stuff like that. But we allow these things to happen because we don't take time to sit back and say, that's entertainment. That's not real. That's not reality. These things are not reality. So we come up with these falsehoods and these detrimental things about ourselves that does nothing but continue to harm ourselves. If a dark skinned black man gets pulled over by the police, he's more likely to be used as a threat than someone who is lighter skinned, who poses to them no threat. These are things that's propagated, and as sad as it is to hear, it's not surprising because I hear this from men that's in their 20s, in their 30s, 40s, 50s. Trick Daddy was talking about, oh, you black hoes, y'all need to get on it because these white hoes ain't doing this. Hey, Trick Daddy looks like a Pokemon character that's melting, and he got a nerve to call somebody something. You know what I mean? So that's just that. But again, that's just my thoughts on that because this is sad and this is just the things that we go through.
Mm-hmm.
So you say you had some information to read.
Yeah. This information I looked up. It just really just influenced me to read more and give more information on Black women and how we carried history on our
Mhm.
back. And
Yes. Yes.
we
Talk about
didn't we were discredited for it. We were devalued for it. We were belittled for it. Um, and I think it's about time that history actually start promoting more Black women because
it. Absolutely.
ideally, when you think
Absolutely.
of Black women, we are the lowest of the totem pole. We are
Yes.
the lowest to get chosen in anything, whether it's work, society, chosen for relationships, marriage, everything.
Yes.
We are the lowest, but we birthed this whole entire world. We
Yes.
birthed them, and if you really, really want to get down to the science of it, we're actually the mothers of the entire
Yes.
humanity.
Absolutely.
But that's a different story. However, I don't
Yes.
think we get enough credit. But these are the
No.
thing. This is basically um oppressed. I think honestly, they make conspicuous Black men oppression, but they do not talk about Black women oppression enough.
Absolutely. I mean, you just look at what's going on with Breonna Taylor, the whole Breonna
Yeah,
Taylor case. You
just
know,
just a prime example.
right,
Or there's so many Breonna Taylors that came before Breonna
right.
Taylor, like
Sandra
the Sandra
Bland.
Blands.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
absolutely.
like so many different stories and history repeating itself because Black women are not given enough credit. We are not rewarded enough.
And
And
see,
Black men, they talk
mhm,
about so much of their oppression, but they're not speaking nothing of Black women oppression. And Black
right.
men, they're taught, because they're not speaking of our oppression, Black men are going to other cultures speaking bad upon Black women enough for that
Mhm.
other culture. It's actually a domino effect. Once that Black man take that negative energy and talk about that Black woman to another culture, guess how far back he's pushing that Black woman. That goes
Absolutely.
for job,
Mhm.
economically, relationship wise. That culture now, we're not be fitting for jobs. We're not going to get
Mhm.
hired anymore. We're not getting chosen for anything anymore. We're not CEOs and entrepreneurs anymore because we're getting pushed further back down because our Black men are going to other cultures telling them that Black women are wicked, telling them all the stereotypes of the other cultures. They're actually confirming that this is true and that they not only want the other culture don't want to deal with us, but our own Black men don't want to deal with us.
Right.
That speaks a lot, and that's
And,
pushing Black women back even further. And now
and
Black
that's the
women are
sad
not.
part.
Yeah, now Black women can't birth the Black kings and can't put the Black kings on their backbone and carry them because we don't have enough strength to do so because our Black kings are going to other cultures talking about them and pushing us further back, making it harder for us to succeed.
Because
And it's enough. Enough is enough.
right, and if you listen to the audio, you start to hear stereotypical things when it comes to black women. Like the first brother was saying that the dark skinned women were mean and they're ghetto, they're loud, they nag. See, what these young brothers don't understand that first of all, if a woman is pushing you towards excellence, that's not nagging. For one, that's someone who actually cares. Because a person who don't care ain't gonna say nothing. They just gonna let you fall. But a person who's constantly pushing you to do something better for yourself, that's the woman you need. And a lot of these brothers just want something easy. And if you heard, even when it came to white women, and it's no disrespect to white women or any other culture, but the first thing that they said was she was easy. Oh, I could get that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they freakier. You don't know some black women. I'm just sorry. I'm just saying. You don't know what you talking about. But that's a story. But anyway, it was more of the for one, it was more the sexual thing, and for two, even when they spoke positive about black women, it was about their body. Oh, she got black women got big booty. Not that black women have intelligence. Black women are excellent. Black women care about you. Black women will be
Exploit
on
our
your
physical features, just like
yeah,
history has done.
yeah.
Exploit women's physical features, just like a white man did in history. That was
Hmm.
all they did, was exploit black women's physical features. That's why the culture now has appropriated those same physical features, and now they're being praised in other cultures and not
Hmm.
over here. They're exploited over here.
Right. And if you notice, this is with the phenomenon of what you said earlier, the women getting the bigger lips, the women getting the bigger, these women will go down, and if they live in Miami or they live in a place where, it's highly populated with women with big derrieres, they go balloon theirs up. This is why the Kardashians is where they at now. You know what I'm saying? Because they see black women with the big old booty. Now I got to go give me a big booty because black men,
Exactly.
and
That's
what's
what he's
crazy.
into.
You know what I'm saying? What's crazy is that in our culture, we're talking about the black culture. Originally, we looked up to the matriarchs of the family. This is what's so sad now is that we looked up to the woman of the family, the matriarch of the family, and that went downhill. It wasn't no disrespect to the man of the house, but we always looked up to Big Mama. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We knew who Big Mama was. We respected Big Mama. We didn't get out of line with Big Mama. Big Mama told us how we're
Exactly.
supposed to act towards these women. You know what I'm saying? And make sure, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that her daughter, which was our mother, made sure that they instilled that in us. You know what I'm
Those
saying?
same qualities and attributes that the black man was birthed with and influenced by are now frowned upon and has a negative connotation around it. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's forbidden. I will not. I don't want to deal with that. And
Right.
it's asinine. It's outlandish. It's crazy to even for him to lose sight on that, to lose his identity. And in this world, it's so many resources. I blame it on the leaders, the parents. I blame it on them because there's so many resources now than it was for us, provided for us in our era, in our generation. For those
Mm-hmm.
little young boys to have so much resources, I'm sorry, and so
Mm-hmm.
many things at their leisure to learn, I cannot understand the lack of knowledge or the inability to seek that knowledge. I
And I
cannot
don't think they
understand
want
it.
to. I don't think they want to. And the simple fact is that they clearly told you that they want it easy. That's basically all it is. They're young, they want some easy coochie, and that's the only way that they feel like. And this is the sad part about the flip side of this. White women, if y'all listening, they think you easy and dumb. Just be honest. They think you're just easy, dumb, and you're gonna do whatever they tell you to do. And I've heard, brothers my age. That's the reason why they get with white women. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody. And there's always, hey, she been down with me since so and so. You know what I'm saying? She loved me unconditionally. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the ones who trying to get something easy, but like that's why I mess with them because I can do this, I can get over, I can do this. Black women ain't gonna let you get over on them like that. Black women gonna hold you to a higher standard like that, and they wanted an easy route. And boom, there you go. You got with someone who's not going to hold you responsible, young brother, and to be able to be better than your current situation. You don't want to be better than your current situation. You don't want to be uplifted. You want the easy route. And I don't understand that because maybe because I grew up in a place where life wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not super light skinned and I'm not dark skinned and I'm literally kind of like right in the middle. So when I was growing up, light skinned girls was in, light skinned girls didn't like me. You know what I'm saying? But I like dark skinned girls, and I used to get talked about. You know what I'm saying? Because I like the dark skinned girls. Oh, she black, and she blackity black and this, that, the other. It just would totally destroy this woman who was being nothing but a sweetheart to me. You know what I mean? So let me ask you this, Tisha. Do you believe these are the things that we fight amongst ourselves? Or is there a root to this that we could go back to?
I think this is a root. Like I said, I mean, obviously we can do control damage. I think that we have to take responsibility and accountability as for our generations, for our youth. Obviously, we had, like you said, we had the big mamas, we had the leaders, we had the mentors, we had the people looking out for us. Now it's our turn to step up and look out for our youth because they're getting too far gone. And I think it's our time to go back and actually, you know, teach them and dismantle and unlearn what they've been taught. This society is teaching our black men not to love us anymore, not to procreate with us anymore, not to coexist with us anymore. And
Let
not
me ask
only
you.
that,
Oh, go ahead.
they're betraying us. They're belittling us. They're degrading us in the process of having their preference.
So, do you think that social media also plays a part into the
Absolutely.
propaganda against
Excuse
Black
me.
women?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yes, absolutely. I think that that is the leading cause of it. Instant gratification, things at your forefront, things at your doorstep, things is easier to grasp, things that takes no time or effort to get. And I think that's what it is, instant gratification. Everybody wants that instant, what's popping. You even see the celebrities. Like you were mentioning, their celebrities are idolizing these lighter skinned women and there's white women with the features of a black woman, and black boys are looking at that like, yeah, that's cool, I want something like that on my arm, not understanding their history, not understanding their heritage. It says white feminism weaponized white they're weaponizing. They use white women use their tears in order to silence observations of racism. White women merely need to cry to vandalize people of color, especially men of color. You have so many of this happening in history with the Emmett Tills and the Rosewood massacre. All these things of white women utilizing those same traits that black men run
Mm-hmm.
from a strong black woman's mentality and personality. A white woman uses that, and it is looked upon as white privilege, and she's literally just vandalizing black men, and black men cannot see that. It says such atrocities take place in history is still prevalent to this day. uh the dichotomy is it's the same ideology black men use, comparing black women and white women together. Black men suppress black women when they devalue, they belittle, and they degrade them. And they have to understand how far we're going back as a culture when they do that.
Right.
They're not only hurting us, they're hurting themselves. And I think it's time for us as our generation, which is me and you and I, to give back and try to teach those youth. That's why we have to have more leaders step up, because that scares
Mm-hmm.
me. Because this is our culture we're talking about. This is our heritage. This is our identity. This is our history. This is going to be one day our history. 10 years from now, you don't want the black women to not exist to a point where there are more mixed children and biracial children than there are black children. There are more biracial families than there are black families. because of
So
this hate.
absolutely, absolutely. And then everybody who's watching right now on Facebook Live and on YouTube live right now, just make sure that I want you to answer this question: why some black men don't like sisters? I want to give some of your answers and things like that in the comment section. So make sure you guys are commenting. Continue to comment on this section. I'm going to be posting your comments again on this live stream. You guys are, are putting some real information out. But why some black men don't like sisters? Does it? I really want to ask that question and have someone answer that question for me because and again, I had this conversation with someone before. I love black women. There's nothing greater on earth that's more beautiful on earth than a sister. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. Black, white.
Hats off to you, sir.
No disrespect to anyone, but the way a black woman looks, the way a black woman thinks, the way that she operates, the way that she moves, that is God. That is God putting His stank on it. I don't care what y'all say. That's whoever your creator is. That's what that is. Because there's no way that wasn't created. You know what I mean? Just perfectly created. So I don't. I mean, there's some. Obviously, there's going to be other races, race of people or other ethnicities that you're going to like. You know what I'm saying? From a physical standpoint, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And if you like Asian women, I like Asian women. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I would not do is totally disrespect one for the other. That's the problem. That's another problem. And number two is that once I got over my thing with light skinned girls, because I mean that was a big thing, and I'm not gonna lie. And ask anyone from '93, or let's say the early '90s, who grew up in the early '90s, all you see was light. And then now I'm saying that you're starting to see, and that's why I asked you that question before about social media, because now because of the advent of like Instagram and certain like that, you get that instant gratification. Now they're starting to see black women over in Africa. Of course, you know what they're looking for: big old booty, big this, big that, and they see these women are built. Now it's all these sexy Africans are. Now you want to be a part of your people, but you're only being a part of it because you're seeing something sexual about it. You're not seeing anything else besides that. So how us as men, from a woman's standpoint, how can we get past just seeing women as sexual objects?
Man, that's a hard one.
It is.
To Because I feel like we're left with a double-edged sword, because you have to understand how anthropology work and dealing with the culture. Men deal with women by their bank account and how much money they're associated with, and women obviously get men by their features. That's what society is telling us, and we just have to understand, for real. We have to be diligent about implementing respect in each sex of our race, because we have to understand respecting ourselves in a manner where we can actually make conspicuous the great things about us, and eradicate those things that society is telling us. Knock down societal towers and social standards, and what they're telling us is important, and what they're telling us we should make conspicuous, and what they're telling us can actually attract someone. Teach our black girls that is more to a man than her body part. She has more to offer than her body. She have more. I read this thing. It says a woman should know that her best feature is not physical.
Right.
So let her know that her best feature is not physical, anything physical on her body. Um, get rid of all these fictitious thoughts of attracting women with money, and women would know that they don't have to do those things to look these type of ways and go out and get these surgeries and look a certain way for a man to like them and to want them. Get back to our roots. Honestly, that's ultimately what it is. Get back to our roots. We were kings and queens before the big asses. We had beautiful skin. We had melatonin. We had brains. We had power. We had beauty. We had elegance. We had class. We were vivacious women before the physical, you know?
Mhm. And I
So
and I also believe this kind of piggyback off of what you're saying is that we as men, as black men, have to get back into loving black women.
absolutely.
And I
The
think
original black women. Okay.
right. And when I say love, I really mean loving them as equals. You see what I mean? I think when we love, when a lot of black men say, "Oh, I love black women," you're just talking about, again, the more physical attributes, which I love that too. I mean, I mean, I ain't blind, so of course I love physical attributes, but what their heart is at, where they're at in as far as where the struggle that black women has had and where it is now. When you talk about the feminist movement, who created the feminist movement? Black women.
Yep.
Black
I
women was the
certainly
ones in the
did.
1920s and the 1930s that was speaking up
And
for equal
carried it on their back. And then after they wasn't recognized, they felt compelled to take on more patriarchal roles because they wasn't being recognized.
rights.
Because they was not being recognized in the feminist movement. It was not being liberated, was not being accepted. We still wasn't being accepted. I would like to read these. Man, this is powerful. I was just looking at some of it.
Read
Let me
on,
let
read
me go
on,
ahead and read this. It says
read
10 ways
on.
black women have 10 ways black women have been oppressed throughout history. All right, the first one, it says black women are simultaneously oppressed by the construct of race, class, and gender. Then number two, I'm not going to get into the big details of it because it does break it down and that'll be pretty lengthy. But I'm gonna just read them all to you guys, and you guys can just go from there and answer as you feel needed to or feel compelled to. Number two, it says black women are expected to surrender control over most things, to include their own bodies. Number
Mm,
three, it says black women will fight for all but themselves.
mm,
Number four, black
mm,
women are and still legally categorically invisible.
mm.
Black number five, it says black women can't be women.
Wow. Say that again. Say that
Black
again.
women, that one needs for, oh my
Say
God.
that
It says
again.
black women can't be women.
Wait a minute. I want you to
This,
stop. I want you to stop real quick because I want the audience to know what she really means by this. Because when a black woman becomes when she's a woman, she's frowned upon in this society. When she is being everything that she is as a woman, she is frowned upon. Not just frowned upon by her own people, but by society. She
and
can't
let
wear
her
certain
not
things.
have, and please don't
Oh,
let her have preferences and actually enforce those preferences. Oh man,
mm,
she can't have, oh, she gotta accept anybody as is. She can't have a preference. She can't have standards. She can't have something that's above what she's worth to society.
mm,
Oh man, she can't expect those things. Oh man, black
mm.
women can't be women. Wow,
Can't be
that was
women.
powerful. That was powerful. Those five words are powerful, man. Okay, number six, black women are silenced. Their knowledge cast aside and their standpoints are monetized.
Mm,
Or, I'm sorry, monetized. Um, it says number seven, black women are strong. Black women are dying, victimized.
mm. And I believe that too. I believe that too. Just the number of women in Kansas City alone who's just been killed for no apparent reason whatsoever. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Just women being killed. That's why when I did the last podcast last week saying y'all not gangster, y'all not when you got to kill when you killing women out here. That ain't
Hmm.
gangster out here though, bro. But that's
That's
another thing.
crazy. Yeah.
Victimized, raped, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't value the black woman, and that needs to stop.
Wow. It says the myth of the strong black women and black women's natural tendency to play along with the endangering emotional and mental toil that non-black women and men burden them with perpetrates their victimhood. Oh
Mm,
man, and their soul's death, just dying slow. Man, that's crazy. Black women, number eight, I'm sorry. Black women are hated, but their bodies are everyone's desires.
man,
Man.
man.
Yeah. Number 9, it says black women die forgotten.
Mm,
Black
mm.
women die forgotten.
That
Number
is very, that
10.
is very true.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that this is very true, and not to cut you off, because
Okay.
even if you look at any parts of the civil rights movement, you never hear about the black women. When you talk about the Black Panther Party, you never really hear about the black women,
Black
even
women
though the majority of people that was in the Black Panthers were women.
were women. Yep. You hear about that one man that did something immaculate in history. I mean, history actually do reward black men. If they are going to reward black people in the black culture, it's most oftentimes black men.
Hmm.
Um, Black number 10 is black women are so oppressed that they reproduce their own oppression.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Somebody preaching today.
Wow.
Say that
Wow.
one more time. Say
It
that one more
says
time.
black women are so oppressed that they reproduce their own oppression.
So we wonder why these little dudes is out here saying what they're saying. If you think
Wow.
about it,
That is the answer right there.
there if you think about it, they're looking at their own mothers as like, I don't want nobody like her. She nagged. This is odd. She nagged too much, or she
Mhm.
might be dark skinned. So I don't want nobody like that. I don't want nobody like my mama. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because she this and she that and blah 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 and this and the other. Because
Wow.
if you look at your own mother that way, for one, we're and again, it goes back, and this is something that Jericho put in the comment section earlier, is that it's an imbalance. There's an imbalance in the world when it comes to men and women, especially in the black community, because we go off. We need stability, and if there's an imbalance in anything, there's going to be instability. Instability. So you have the black woman that's in the house is work up behind now, trying to take care of this little boy, treating him like he are. So in some cases, some black women treat their sons like that's their man. And
Mhm.
you can say what you want to say,
Yeah.
but I've seen that firsthand. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
yeah.
treat this little boy like that's your man, and you don't treat him like that's your son. There's a lack of man in the house for whatever reason, whether it's through mass incarceration, whether it's through he don't want to be there,
Mhm.
or maybe he was there and didn't want to deal with that foolishness and he had to leave. Because
Mhm.
it's always sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
ain't just the man just left. You know what I'm saying? Man could just probably didn't want to deal with their mother. They probably, and that child would probably was raised up seeing all of it, and then he started formulating this opinion, which is now
Mhm.
the oppression now birthing the more oppression. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's all about the societal oppression in which they implemented on us, in which their plan actually is playing out right before us. Their plan was to create this image of the black woman to be like this, to teach the black kids, because they eradicated the black man out of the household. So they took and
mhm,
exerted him out of the household. They created the image of the black woman. Her image influenced the black son. So the cycle continues and it
mhm,
perpetuates throughout history. It's gonna
mhm,
continue if we do not put a stop to it. It's gonna continue because that black boy is gonna see something that he don't want, because they created that image, and society is constantly telling him that that's not what he want. They create these celebrities. I've heard celebrities say that Hollywood wouldn't even accept their black wives. They wanted to put someone more appealing and eye candy
yep,
on their arm for society
mhm,
to see. When they
to
put these
accept it.
women in these videos, they put these lighter skinned women in the videos because they're more acceptable. And these black boys see that because their plan is working to exert that black man out of their household so he can go to that other culture, go back and whisper in their ear about the black women, and they can create this image, this bigger image, and actually confirm that this is exact indeed what is going on in that culture. And guess what? It pushes us back. It's going to push us
Mhm.
back. That is creating and actually playing out before us. It's actually happening.
And if you see if you study any cultures, you can look at South America. In South America, they actually wanted to whitewash the blacks out of Brazil and South
Oh.
America by having them mate with women and then watch them out and then basically tell that woman that you got to have a lighter man or a man that's Portuguese, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that to wash out the African out of his blood is basically what whitewashing was called. And they wanted to do that in North America, but then they start having the laws against mating with slaves. You know what I mean? Not necessarily mating with slaves, but marrying someone outside the culture, blah, blah 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 blah
Mhm.
blah, and all of that. So it never went into fruition like the way it did in South America. But you still see the colorism that's going on right now
Mhm.
in America when you look at black women, and if they don't have certain features,
Mhm.
if they don't have a certain type of attitude, and you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
They call it the angry black woman because,
Mhm.
but then when you see a black woman stand, I mean a white woman stand up for herself with that same energy, they call it strength. She's being strong.
Yep.
She's not going to
Yep.
black down. But when a
Yep.
when a black woman shows that
They
same
rep.
exact energy and strength, she angry.
Yeah.
She this, she that. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, for those who's voting, you're gonna see this when they start talking about Kamala Harris.
Mhm.
You're going to see that they're going to bring up or she's the angry black woman. She didn't do this, even though she got a white man. But they're going to use that trope because that is a American trope. That's why I tell folks, you got to watch America. America is going to America. They're going to do the things that they do. And like my man Jericho said in his book, it ain't the truth that's hard to swallow. It's reality. The truth is not a hard pill to swallow. Reality of knowing that this is what life is a hard pill to swallow, and nobody wants to fix it. So let me ask you this: how do we go about, with you being a life coach and you working in this particular type of field? How do you go about changing the mentality? How do we, as black men, go out and teach our young black men and women how to be better with each other and love each other more?
Yeah, I think it's better to actually unify us first. First of all, we have to heal. And I think healing starts within the community. I think I take healing, I use healing as a STD. If you're not healed, I think it's the STD of your community. So
Mm,
everybody that has some type of trauma, some type of uh, uh, inability to heal, or some type of influence in their lives, whether or not it was environmental influences or peer influences, or from your own parents, some type of influence, I think that is worth healing. First we have to heal. And when you don't heal, you go out into a community and you infect everyone in that community. And with
absolutely.
that being said, is that STD is actually contagious. It's going out and it's infecting, and everyone is contracting it. So you're hurting everyone you come in contact with until you heal. And that's just like anything else. So once you heal a community of people, then you have to repair them. So after that healing process, you go to a reparation, I'm sorry, process to repairing them. And
Mhm.
once you start repairing them, then you can teach them. So you're basically dismantling everything that they have been taught and actually teaching them the new ways and the proper ways to be taught. And actually, once you go through that process, because you first have, like I said, it always takes the root of the problem first. We cannot start where we're at. We have to go back to the root and healing. Start healing people, so people will be more ready to speak, ready to teach, ready to learn, ready to be receptive to everything that's coming. And then we actually have to understand and teach them how, and be really diligent in teaching them how important it is to stick with your culture. It was forbidden for you to date outside of your race in the biblical days. It was forbidden. You will be xed out. It wasn't like it is today where you can mingle in other races.
Mhm.
So I think that is important to evolve our race. Our race needs evolution inside itself. It says right here, it says black women are the least to be chosen in everything. It says right here that on the lineup for a job, most people look over black women if it's a picture lineup. Black women do not align with them. They will choose any other race. They will probably choose a black man before they choose a black woman for a job, for a position. That is how bad it is. For a woman that birthed this society, birthed humanity, I think we need more credit than that. So I think it's time for us to go back and heal some people. Then after we heal, we repair. Then after repair, we actually teach. We implement a plan, a comprehensive plan to systematically uh, uh, create a comprehension for everyone across the board, everyone, not just our culture, all cultures. We need to go back and speak highly of our cultures to other cultures, even if that's your preference. Other
Right.
cultures need to hear how much we love our culture. Other cultures love their culture. They're unified. They have unity in their culture. We the only culture that do not have unity, and that's a problem.
Hmm.
That's a problem.
So do you think we take a lot of things that is our culture, because we're so scatterbrained, like we were talking about, our DNA and what I found out in my DNA. And a lot of people are looking now because they don't have knowledge of who they are. They can't see our culture. They can't see who we are, and they think there's something wrong. Like the young brothers kept saying, "Oh, this is ghetto," or "This person is ghetto," "That person is ghetto."
Mhm.
Do you think we ignore the obvious that's in our culture and not embrace it, or what do you think? What do you think on that?
I do think that there's a disconnect with that. I think every culture has that. Like white people have trailer trash, and black people have ghetto, and
Hmm.
so on and so forth. Black Mexican people have what they call wetbacks or whatever they call it, just
I
basically the
don't.
trailer and the ghetto of the Hispanic. I mean, so every race has that. Yeah, ours haven't been embraced. Also, it's obviously a negative connotation around that. It's more accentuated on and more conspicuous in headlines and news as well because it is a person of color, and they degrade it
Right.
a lot more, and they actually put it in the headlines as opposed to a white person, even if they are in a less fortunate household or a household deemed poverty. um it's all looked upon as, oh, they it would have a sad story surrounding it as opposed to a person that was coming from a poverty stricken environment, and they were of color. It would be such a negative connotation around it, oh, they will have to unfold the whole history of that person and talked about what they did from birth all the way up to the time they committed whatever crime they did, just like they did George Floyd, tried to
Mhm.
dig up everything on him. So I just think that we do have to embrace, not so much as embrace it. I do think that we have to actually accentuate on it a little more and actually heal that part of it too. That's actually where the infestation is, honestly, in the poverty stricken areas, in the hood, in the ghettos, in the more areas surrounding those things. So I think that it is important for us to actually accentuate on those and clean up those areas. And our leaders need to start with those areas. Our leaders do need to start with those areas where there's no resources for the kids, where's little and scarce things for them to actually hold on to. So they feel like their only way out is to go to another culture.
Right. And then again, with black people, we sell the trauma of our culture before we celebrate the success of our culture. So we put the
I love that.
trauma in the forefront. We never put the success in what you were saying earlier. The success of black women need to be here, not the problems that we've been going through with black women and why black women haven't been celebrated. We just need to celebrate them. You
Which
know,
is the same problems that white women present.
right? We just need to celebrate it. It
We
just
do.
it seems to me that and I kind of noticed this, like when I did the little video for Black Queens, I put black women in bikinis in it first. The first portion of it.
Mm.
To attract it was to see if you was gonna watch this whole entire video or what you thought this video was gonna be about. But it
Mm-hmm.
starts celebrating black women. It start,
Mm-hmm.
saying, looking at black women in a different light, whether they was doing, maid work. Now remember, a lot of black women was doing maid work back in the day because you had to survive, and a lot of women was doing a lot of hard work for pennies on the dollar. And like you said earlier, it seemed like society just, whatever, you have black women out here in the fields raising chicken and hogs and doing these things, doing reconstruction. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Well, you didn't have enough money to go to the north. So you had to stay on the plantation to be able to feed your family, you know what I'm saying, and do sharecropping. That was out there trying to, what I'm saying, your great grandmother and grandmother out here trying to make it happen. Totally looked over. So I
Yeah.
think
Always.
the first part, if we are going to heal each other, I believe that we have to be able to heal our black women, because I hear so much that black women feel so unprotected. I don't feel protected around black. It is evident when you see a black man who breaks up with someone, gets upset, and goes and kills them because whatever mental breakdown that this man had, but going to go kill the black woman because she don't want to be with you no more. We need to be able to celebrate our black women more, to make them feel,
We need to, yeah. We need
to,
to
to,
heal.
to, to say that we love you, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's nothing sexual or nothing. It ain't got nothing to
Yeah.
do with that.
Yeah.
You are what we need. You know what I'm saying? You are a part of us. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, when he took that rib for man to create woman, I truly believe that I need you next to me. If you look at it in a science,
Symbolically.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you look at it at a scientific point, or if you look at yin and yang, as far as a balance
Mm-hmm.
on Earth, you need that. You need positive neutrons. You need negative neutrons. It balances itself out. You have to have that. You have to have balance in this world. And if you're unbalanced because you don't feel like we're there for you, you're going to breed more of the violence and greed and the things that's
Mm-hmm.
going on, because we're not being there. It's
Yeah.
it's it's the balance.
Yeah.
And Jericho said it just as simply, just put, it's balance. We're
Yeah.
so unbalanced.
Yeah.
Other cultures, they got their balance, but
Yeah.
when it comes to us, our frequencies are off,
It is. Yeah.
completely off.
Definitely off frequency. Yeah. 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 It is bad. It's such a conundrum.
Yeah,
I think that black women, despite her inhibitions, she is arguably the strongest person on this earth, and I think that's conducive into receiving an award.
absolutely. And like I said, it's just for me. Like I said, I made the Black Queen song, and then
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that a lot of black women the song didn't catch on with black women. It caught on with
Mm,
more black men than it did women,
mm,
and that was kind of like, it kind of threw me for a little bit, because I was thinking, I'm celebrating you. I'm
wow.
telling you that that I don't care how messed up your hair is. That's a crown on top of that dome you got. You know what I mean? That is a crown. You gotta love yourself. You got
Yeah.
people copy you. The black man and the black woman is the most copied people on the face of the planet. Let me
Mhm.
reiterate: the most
Yeah.
copied person
Yeah.
on the planet.
I
They
think that is
love.
not. I think that that song is not enough of it. It's so many songs degrading us. It's not enough of those songs, which is kind of like it's voided out once we hear it, because it's not enough of it. I don't think they. I think they, unbeknownst to them, they ignoring it, and it's kind of like it's kind of
Well,
scary.
let me ask you this, and I'm not going to take forever on this, but do you believe that some black women have just given up
Oh,
on
fuck
black
yeah.
men.
I'm so sorry. Just excuse my language. Absolutely.
No, deep say, hey,
Absolutely. I
this
just
shit is
posed a
explicit.
question today and it says, can a woman love a man um when he's complete, or can she be happy? I'm sorry. The question was, can a woman be happy with a man without any money when he's completely broke? And that is crazy because I feel I'm going to put that towards the black woman. I think black women are so tired of carrying men and carrying the society on our backs that we have lost all faith. That we have lost all faith in it. I think that the actual chances of us actually dating, they said the actual chances of a black woman getting married is slim to none.
Wow.
Slim to none for a black woman to actually be married. So, I mean, it's not that we have given up. Society has given up on us.
And it's funny
Society
because
has
I'm
given
out
us.
here tossing brains like Sonic.
It don't produce enough rewards for us. We don't get enough rewards produced to be happy and exciting for something, to expect something in return. Society does not reciprocate for black women. Do not. And I think that that is scary in itself because a lot of black women are not dating. A lot of black women are hurt. A lot of black women are tired, exhausted. A lot of black women are just going towards success in business and success in business more than success in relationships because she has nothing to look forward to. Our music have degraded us. Our men have degraded us. Our society has degraded us. The world has degraded us. Everything is pushing black women further, further, further down the totem pole to the point where we're going to be in the ground.
Mm.
We're
And
going to be in the
honestly,
ground. The
this
person
is
that
coming from a
produced,
black woman, y'all. This
yeah,
is coming from a black woman who's telling us exactly how she's feeling about where we're at right now. You know, it is hard for me to hear because this is a black woman who's saying, look, y'all rather us be 6 feet deep than to love us. That's
yeah,
sad.
yeah.
Let's think about that for a second. Truly think about that. When a woman saying that I'm less likely to be married to be loved. That's
Census Bureau, the
sad.
census is sad. The Census Bureau said that a black woman, a successful family in this world will not come from a black woman's household. So, in order for a black man to have a successful family, society is telling him that it won't be with a black woman. Come
Mm,
on now. What does that say to you? What is
mm.
that telling that black man? He will not be successful with a black woman.
That's
Come on
crazy.
now. Come
That's
on now.
crazy.
And
That's
then
crazy.
on the and then you have on the contrary, we have more black women that are CEOs and successful
Mm-hmm.
than black men.
Mm-hmm.
More black women that are successful, more
Oh,
successful than black men, but society is telling him that he will not be successful with a black woman.
fellas, we need to get it together. And a lot of black men, it's gonna be some black men that's gonna say, "Oh, you just picking on black men," and it's
No.
no. It's
Look it up,
majority for
man. You don't believe us? Look this stuff up. It's right there in your face, man. Society is showing you. Look it up. It's everywhere. This psyop, they are showing you everything you need to know in this psyop that they're calling society. It's crazy. It's a mental house. It's a nut house. We're all running around here hurt and crazy. All of us need to actually sit down and unlearn everything society has taught us because it's all
yes.
bullshit, ass backwards. We need to heal each other. We need to have very positive energy. We have to actually come through and actually reciprocate that energy to one another, and emit positive energy to society, to other cultures, to let them know that we are thriving over here. We are good over here. We need to have our own community of everything and unify each other and come over here and have our own culture, our own money, our own dollar circulating in our community, our own land, our own oil, our own treasures, our own evolving culture that's thriving. That's what we need to have. I'm for that. I'm with that.
Absolutely,
I'm
and
with that.
especially where everything is going, what's going on, and like I said, it's for me, again, I try to look at everything objectively, but I'm a human being. So when I hear a black woman, a strong, intelligent black woman who is successful in her own right, saying, "Look, this is what they think about us. This is what they think about you." It puts it has to be a mental shift in the minds of black men that we can't just treat you like whatever. We can't just treat you like trash. We have to treasure you. And I believe that's hard when you're broken. I believe a lot of men are broken. They don't want to go seek help. And broken people create more broken people. I really truly believe that. I believe that when you have people that's out here broken, upset, angry, that don't have any faith within themselves, they're going to look at the people that's next to them, which is the black woman. They're going to beat her, disrespect her,
Mm-hmm.
you kill. This is all the stuff. I'm serious. This is all the stuff that we see in our society because we're not valuing our sisters enough. And
Absolutely.
let's not just. I don't want to just make it all. What black men. I'm just saying, as a black man, I think we need to do that. But sisters, y'all
Yes,
need to step up too and be
we
able to
do.
value yourself.
Yep.
Not you per se, but some of these sisters need to value yourself. When a black man comes to you intelligently and tell you to value yourself, he ain't just trying to get in your pants. He's trying to tell you to lift yourself up and lift your head up and be able to look at inside that spirit inside of you and say, you know what, you are gorgeous. I ain't talking about your physical. That spirit that runs inside of you can do many things if you allow it to just flourish. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't see that because
Mm-hmm.
we're hurt. And in this society, when everybody, let's put every, not that all lives matter, but let's put it like this: black people in America are oppressed and hurt in certain ways. And
Mm-hmm.
when black people say, when white people say, "Oh, you make $1 million and still be oppressed," well, I'm gonna tell you, when you looking at yourself and you don't like yourself because of what society perpetuates, that's a sign of oppression. And a lot of people don't see that as a sign of oppression. If you look at Instagram and you see all these women or whatever, and you thinking to yourself, a man can only love me unless I dress like this, or and
Mm-hmm.
not saying that you can't be sexy. Let me not get it twisted. I'm not saying you can't have sex appeal and be sexy and be bad and all of that. All of that's all good, but that shouldn't just be the end all, the be all, the end all, the be all for yourself. As a woman, you should also be able to like look at this degree or look what I'm doing on this business. We got to raise ourselves up, to look at
Yep.
ourselves and to just love ourselves. That's really what it really boils down to. It's a lack of love.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be a Sandra Bland situation where when
Mm-hmm.
we're shouting out black women. It shouldn't be a Breonna Taylor or the other young woman who was shot in her home while playing video games with her little cousin. It shouldn't have to go to a woman that is on her deathbed. The woman who was shot over there at the at 7-Eleven over there by Van Brunt. It shouldn't have to come to that.
Wow.
For us to be able to love our people, man, we should just be able to love them. Period. Period. There should be no agendas. It's just love.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thoughts. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, teach, because I'm yeah.
I think that we shouldn't pose these type of questions like what is the difference between a black man and a white man and woman? It's not, we cannot put them all in the same, but our black men have
Yeah.
to stick up for us. And
Yes.
our black men should not be looked upon as the racist men of women, of black women. They should not be racist against black women. And I feel like we have to actually come together, and like you said, like we shouldn't feel these ways. We shouldn't have to
You
deal
should.
with these things. I solely agree with you. And it's this, not only that, like I said, it takes our culture to tell other cultures this. Our culture is what's spewing and actually perpetuating into other cultures. So those other cultures look at our culture and they actually getting these stereotypes from what we're doing, and they're creating this. So they actually made the plan and they infiltrated our system. So now it's time for us to come back and infiltrate our system. We so-called have all these leaders, all these strong-minded people in our community. We have the most, I'm sorry, strongest community of people
Mm-hmm.
ever. If we really, really want to go there, we do. So now it's time for us to actually put that plan in action, put some plans in action, and show them that we are better than what we have been perceived as. And
So, I just lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you a question before I start wrapping this up, but do you let me? How can I frame this? As far as black women, what would you like to say to black women as far as how you're feeling? How can we get black women to change that mode? What can we do as black men from a black woman's perspective to change the mold of how we feel about our black women?
um, honestly, I think Black women have to hold ourselves accountable. Accountability overall is the number one thing for me. I feel like when they look at us, they look at us as a whole. They don't look at us from one person to the next and
Right.
actually stereotype us like that. They actually look at us as a big group of people. So you're talking about Black women, you're talking about yourself. If you're talking about if a Black woman is talking about another Black woman, she's talking about herself. I have to understand that because every other
Right.
culture look at us just as a whole. So
Right.
accountability on your part. It's not if you're not doing anything to change it. If you're talking about another Black woman, if you're putting down another Black woman, if you're fighting another Black woman, if you're taking from another Black woman, you are part of the problem, and that goes for men too. If you're doing all of that, you are a part of the problem. So I just want to leave it off with give me some affirmations, give me some positive mantras and affirmations to the Black women and men of our culture, and allowing them to to know that they are worthy, they are wanted, they are important. You are magnanimous, you are altruistic, you are tenacious, you are worthy, you are wanted, you are amazing, you are enlightened, you are intelligent, you are intellectual, you are a business owner, you are a beautiful mother, you are a beautiful person inside and out, externally and internally. You are intellectual, you will be married, you will be a millionaire, you will be rich, you will be everything society says that you're not going to be. You will be, and you will do it, and you will be infinite in it. um I love you, I love you, and that's where it starts. I love you.
Absolutely, y'all. Love it. Absolutely love it. And when you say that, you also have to and this is for everyone. You have to look at yourself and say, I love me. You
Absolutely.
cannot start your day looking at yourself and you hate what's in front of you.
Mhm.
And because if you hate what's in front of you, you damn sure gonna hate everything that's around you and everything that comes in front of you.
And you will
And that,
manifest it as well. You will
mhm,
manifest hate. So
so you have to this subject, whoops, didn't mean to, didn't mean to hit that again.
hey, it was needed.
It was needed. It was needed because I didn't try to do that.
Absolutely. It wasn't a fluke. It happened
But
because it's
it's
supposed to happen.
right. But it's for real though. It's we have so much that we could be able to do as a society, as a people, where we could be able to look at one another. And this is the real biggest thing, that we can look at one another in love.
Mhm.
And I know that that's hard. I know it's hard because, again, we grew up in society. Some of us grew up in places with people that did not love us. And in
Mhm.
turn, we started to hate ourselves because of the backlash that they were giving us. And a lot of people don't talk about that when you start talking about mental health and mental health problems. A lot of it goes from who your parents were. And I believe someone said that in the comment section earlier. It was from the parents. You know what I'm saying? I blame the parents, because if your parents are calling you all out your name, calling you all kinds of MS, you black something, and you ain't never going to amount to nothing. You're never going to be this. You're never going to be that. And then that child grow up. Then what do you think they're going to tell the people that's in front of them? What do you think that person is going to feel about themselves when they walk out the door every day? You know, I ain't about nothing. I don't care about nothing. So I might as well go hurt people because I'm hurt. So we must start there. When you was talking about healing, we must find a way to heal ourselves. And Jericho said this earlier: heal your mind, and the body will follow. You have to be able to heal your mind. I feel like you heal your mind, you heal your heart. You know, because your mind, once you start making rational decisions about healing, it starts to heal the rest of you. You know, you start speaking it. Like you would say, I am something. I am great. I am magnificent. I love my skin. I don't care if it's dark. I don't care if it's light. I love me. I don't care if I was in a fire and I was burnt up. I love me. I don't care if society is downtrodden me and said that my hair was nappy and my lips was too big. I love me. I used to feel that same way. I did not love myself. I would go into the mirror. I felt like my lips was too big. My head was too big. Wasn't nobody gonna love me. I was too skinny. I was this. I was that. Until I start speaking life into myself. And once I start speaking life into myself, and I can look at myself and say, I can love me. I'm not going to fall for the okie doke or the banana in the tailpipe. I'm going to have standards as a man. You know, and I know it's harder for women because you deal with that plus the emotions and all of that. Just being a woman by itself would probably drive most men crazy. You know, as a woman, you have so much that you pour out, and then not to have that reciprocated because you're an incubator. You know, naturally, you're the natural guys, created incubator, not having that put back into your spirit, you know, and then you got to wake up with another smile and you got to put out this energy.
And fight, and also fight society. And
with society.
And still hold on to our maternal and nurturing attributes of being a Black woman and supporting her community.
Right. So it's like I said, we need to be able to look to our people, look to our friends and family, and tell them that we love them. Look to our Black women that just try it. Just try it. Try loving someone. Just try loving someone. Just show them who you are. If they reject it, that's on them. They got other issues, but try loving someone and let them know that you care. And that's all really I got to say about that. So, Teisha, let them know about the Over the 30 podcast and how they could be able to listen to you. And I can't think of your partner's name on the show.
You can check me out on the Over 30 podcast on Facebook at the Over 30 podcast, on Instagram, Over 30 podcast, and YouTube, the Over 30 podcast. So my co-host is the Political Plug. His name is Dominique Baker on Facebook. Check him out. Check us out. Check me out at Teisha Marie on Facebook. Check my business pages out at Infinite Stars Holistic Healing and Infinite Stars Incorporation. And you get a lot of stuff. You get a lot of information. Get a lot of education. Get a lot of knowledge. Get a lot of healing for my people. I'm sending positive energy. Sending positive energy. Positive energy. You feel it? You feel it? You feel it?
You can always feel it from you, girl.
You feel it? Oh man, thank you for having me, Dre. This was good.
No problem. You know, yes, and you know we're gonna come back because I didn't do it when I was at Amazon because I couldn't find the book that I want. But you know we're gonna have to get back into we gotta get into the zodiac conversation because that's what I used to do. Yeah, because I told you I used to study real heavy, so we really gotta have that conversation. I know everybody was cracking up when I was doing the little videos. You know what I'm saying? So we're really gonna talk that. We're gonna set this up, and I got some time actually coming up in October. I got 2 free weeks vacation. So we're gonna make sure that I throw a lot of podcasts. I'm trying to set up a podcast with and this is for all you guys. Trying to set up a podcast with E-Man from E-Man's Movie Review out of Chicago. Check out E-Man's Movie Reviews. He just interviewed Samuel L. Jackson. They talk about Chadwick Boseman and his documentary about the transatlantic slave trade. So make sure you go to E-Man's Movie Reviews. E-Man's Movie Reviews right now on his birthday, because his birthday today. So happy birthday to my man E-Man. He is giving away a PlayStation 4 for his birthday. Giving away a PlayStation 4. All you got to do is go to his page and register and say, why do you want to win the PlayStation 4? And he's going to pick a winner for the PlayStation 4 and give away a lot of other prizes for his birthday. The man does a lot in Chicago. I really can't wait to meet him up close and personal, because he's a really good dude, and we're supporting Black business, and that's his business. So we're going to go ahead and support him. Again, make sure you're supporting Teisha Marie and with everything that she's doing. So make sure you go check out her social media pages. Make sure you go and just check her out, period. She is a also wonderful woman. I love her to death. So make sure that you check her out. Also, again, my man Jericho J. Young is in the house. He said he wants to have a one-on-one conversation about some topics, Teisha. So he said he wants to get with you on that. So he just came out with a book called The Law of Subtraction. So make sure you guys are checking that on Amazon. The Law of Subtraction. Just dropped the book on the 18th. So make sure you guys check this out. I just celebrated a birthday, so I'm over the hill. So I'm gonna change this from the Drake. I'm changing this podcast from the Drake Mac podcast to fit with them. It's called the Over the Hill podcast starring Hingle McCringleberry. That's gonna be that's gonna be the new name of the podcast.
What
the Over the Hill podcast starring Hingle McCringleberry. That's gonna be the new. That's going to be the new podcast, since I'm halfway to senior citizenville, or I'm 20. Actually, I'm 20. Let me take that back. I'm actually technically 22 years away from being a senior citizen. So
no, stop.
I can know. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Because I lived through you. You make 40 look good. So I am looking at 40.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. No, you're not catching this.
Good.
You get the senior citizens. You get the senior citizens discount. So I'm not trying to pay full price when I go to a movie. I'm trying to get that, that discount. You don't believe me? Bam! Look at this ID. Get this ID. Go ahead and give me that.
If you look anything like you look now when you're a senior citizen.
And then there you go. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'll see the devil's a lie. You see what the devil did? You see what the enemy is doing? And then spent all this time together and then I blacked her out. Trying to see if she's gonna get back on. But I appreciate everybody who sat back and listened to the Drake Mac podcast show. Again, we got podcast coming up. Interview with E-Man's Movie Review. You back?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My phone kept ringing.
Oh, okay. See, I said it was the devil. See, but it's not.
It was my child's father, so pretty close.
Oh, see, we just got to talking about healing.
No, I'm joking.
Healing.
I'm joking. A great man. I'm totally joking. He's a great man. Don't get me wrong. Amazing person. Amazing father. Yeah,
he takes care of that baby.
Please.
That's his baby. So.
Actually, edit that out.
Nope, it's live, so I can't. But yeah, so I got interviews with E-Man from E-Man's Movie Review. We're gonna get Jericho in the house too, so we can make sure that we interview him about his book, The Law of Subtraction. Trying to set up an interview again with Ryan Dirks. Ryan Dirks came out with some controversy comments So we're gonna have to have Ryan back on the show if he's willing to come back on the show, because he's gonna have to explain the comment that he said. But hopefully, he could be able to explain himself in a well-mannered way, because he has an election coming up. Don't want to lose no votes because you said something stupid. So you're gonna have to get that back on so he can explain himself. So make sure you guys are checking that.
Oh
Make sure
man.
you guys are checking that out. I don't know. I guess I'm done today, teacher. With any more last word? I mean, Jericho just called me an old man, so I'm just trying to wait. Look, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm trying to wait for my beard to get all gray so I could look like Black Moses. Not Black Moses, because Moses was black, but I'm trying to look like Moses or Gandalf. So either one of those, I'm trying to look, because I'm trying to give me a woolly outfit. You know what I mean? I'm just carrying me a stick. Ain't nobody gonna bother me, so that's what I'm trying to get to. What you think? You think I can
You
rock
definitely gonna be looking Mosey. I think you can.
that?
I think you can actually dye it for Halloween and be Moses for Halloween.
I mean, you know what? I could, and then knowing my luck, it won't come out.
Mm,
Right? I
that's
can
what you
look
gotta
like,
worry
or look
about.
like
Nah,
Jericho
but
said, I can look like David Banner.
oh yeah, David Banner. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got the whole pepper beard
the
going
whole
on.
yeah.
But
So
no, in closing, I just like I said, I think that us as people, we got it. We have what it takes to actually evolve, and evolution is what we're actually here to do. So I think we got to get back to our root and start keeping it in our community, and that starts with our youth. It all starts with our youth. Our youth is going to continue our history. That's gonna be our history one day, and I hate to look back
yes,
10 years from now and see it just a mess. It's just not going anywhere. Our youth is going to carry that torch. So we have to
absolutely,
understand that we have to start with them. We have to start with them. We have to start teaching them. We can't get lazy on them. We have to put our foot on their neck. We have to keep
absolutely.
going.
And then and she made a positive statement. Make sure that we're looking at our children. Make sure we're looking at our young people, our young teenagers, and let them know, don't fall for the stereotypes. This is all facade. This is literally, we're in the matrix. So you got to learn what's real and what's not. Again, Teacher, I love you. I appreciate you being here again. I'm gonna give you another round of applause.
I love you, Dre. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And I gotta play this. I gotta play this song, even though it's gonna tell me that it's copywritten by myself. But I gotta play Black Queens for y'all again. I love y'all. Peace and shalom to everyone who stuck around
Perfect.
with the Dre Mac show for this whole hour and a half of this show. Make sure you guys are checking out the upcoming podcast that we got going on. And I'm out. Peace. Got a black queen on my side. Damn, all right, I appreciate you. We gotta have to get this going again.
I appreciate you too. This
So
was
let's do
good. I loved it. I loved every bit of
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. So let's do this. Let's try to get something together in the next couple weeks. About
Okay.
the zodiacs. I'll shoot some information to you,
Okay.
and then we'll put it together, and then we go
Okay.
from there.
Let's
So,
do it.
all
Let's
right,
do it.
cool. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna talk to you later. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to the Drake Mac Show. I love y'all. Teacher to be here. So make sure you guys are checking out Black Queens on YouTube, on Apple. Just search Black Queens. Black Queens, Drake Mac. Like to uplift our black women. I love y'all. Peace. You stand up, you stand out.